Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be telling you about how I got COVID before it was COVID, before it was so widespread in the US. I'm going to be sharing with you my symptoms, how I recovered, and just what it felt like. It was honestly a 2-month journey of me being sick. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos, and let's get into it. So it all started when I took a new job in New York City. I had been commuting into the city for about 2 months, and on January 11th, I remember waking up and feeling sick. I had a headache and a sore throat, but I thought, it's probably just a cold. Just gotta drink lots of fluid and tough it out. So I went to work. Again, drank lots of fluids, was feeling okay, came back home, went to bed early, and thought, I'll be fine. The next day, I woke up and felt horrible. My sore throat had not gone away, I had a headache, and I just knew that I can't go to work like this because I won't be productive. I ended up calling out of work and just resting the entire day. I thought, hey, if I rest today and I have the next day off, I should be good to go after a few days rest. That third day came around and I was not ready to go back to work. I still felt horrible. My sore throat was even worse, if that's possible. I had a runny nose and I would just cry myself to sleep because my throat was hurting so bad. So I made a doctor's appointment and called out of work again. I did ask about coronavirus, even though I didn't know much about it at the time. And they said, no, there's no way it could be coronavirus unless you've traveled to China within 14 days or have been around someone from China within 14 days. And I told them that I had not. So my doctor said, there's no way you could have it. Let's test you for the flu. So I was tested for the flu, which came back negative. So she told me it's probably just a bad cold. Here's some cold medicine I'll prescribe you. Just stay home and rest, and I'll give you the next 3 days off. So at this point, I've been out of work for almost a week. I started feeling better again and feeling like I'm ready to go back to work. I was super excited to go back because I love what I do. I love my job and I love my team. So went back to work and I felt horrible. I remember feeling like I had a fever. I felt hot, so hot. And even though I am on my feet all day running back and forth helping clients, I never really felt like sweaty like that before. I just felt so hot and I felt like I was running a fever. So when I got home that evening, I took my temperature and I had a 103 fever. I had texted my mom because I was so panicked. I didn't know what was wrong with me. I had felt so much better after resting for basically a week. And my mom had told me to make an appointment with the doctor's office the next day. So the next day I called out of work and made another appointment with the doctor's office where I asked them again about coronavirus. I did ask if there was any way to be tested, but again, they said there's no way to test for it and there's basically zero chance that that's what I had. They decided to test me for strep because my throat was still on fire. So they tested me for strep, which ended up coming back negative. So at that point, I was so panicked because I really didn't know what I had. I think the scariest part was just not knowing what it was because everything they tested me for came back negative. So at this point, my boyfriend and I were basically just quarantining ourselves. I was staying in our bedroom with our 2 new cats, and he was staying on the couch. A couple days later, I'm still feeling horrible. I go back to the doctor again, which they make a joke that they should rent me an apartment there because I'm basically there every single day. It's horrible. And I see the doctor again, and I feel even worse than before. And they decide to test me for mono. So they do a blood test for mono, and then they tell me that they want me to go to the nearest hospital to get tested for pneumonia. Because I guess she was, would like feel around your stomach, and she said she felt something, so she wanted me to go get it checked out. So my boyfriend drives me to the hospital to get tested for pneumonia, and the next day they call me in the morning telling me that I have pneumonia. What? What? Oh gosh. A couple days later after that, I have mono. So I had pneumonia and mono at the same time. So at this time, my boss tells me that I have to apply for short-term disability because the amount of times I've called out of work and the amount of time I've been out of work, they could terminate me. So the only option I had was to apply for short-term disability, which I did, and I was approved. I had been out of work at this point, feels like for 2-ish weeks. And I was told to just rest, stay in bed, and not do anything. But things got a lot worse before they got better. At this time, my boyfriend starts to feel sick. He's getting a sore throat, he's getting headaches, he's not feeling well, so he ends up going to the doctor who diagnosed him with the flu. He's also out of work for 2 weeks. So now we're both quarantining separately, not talking or seeing each other in our own home, both not really knowing what to do with 2 new cats who we've only had for a couple weeks. I looked up the symptoms of COVID, which I will get here, and go through them because I actually had all of them. Fever and chills. I had that because I would go to sleep freezing cold under 6 blankets and then wake up in the middle of the night burning hot, taking off all my clothes because I was so hot. I had a horrible cough. I had shortness of breath and difficulty breathing. I couldn't even walk to the bathroom without clenching onto my bed because I was going to fall over. And then when I had to shower, I had to get a shower stool because I couldn't stand up because I was going to fall over. I had fatigue, muscle and body aches, headaches, loss of taste and smell. I literally didn't eat anything for like 2 weeks. And when I did eat, I could only eat applesauce and strawberries because that's the only thing I could stomach. A sore throat, and I had congestion and a runny nose. I had all of these symptoms. For someone that is young and relatively healthy and doesn't have any type of pre-existing conditions or medical conditions, this was horrible. I honestly can't imagine people who have to go through this who are already sick or they're elderly. It just is not something that you wish on your worst enemy. It honestly was my worst nightmare. You know, this point, my boyfriend and I were so sick, we literally couldn't even take care of each other, let alone ourselves. So my mom was nice enough to drive up from Philadelphia and stay with us for 10 days, and she took care of the cats. She took care of cleaning the house because our house was just a mess, and she helped get us food and just made sure that we had everything that we need because we couldn't go out ourselves. I mean, I could barely get up and go to the bathroom. So it was just nice to have someone here, but also I look back now and I'm just so beyond thankful that my mom did not get sick, knowing that she could have easily gotten it. But we all did wear masks at all times when we left our little quarantine areas. My mom was staying in the spare bedroom. My boyfriend was on the couch, so we always made sure to wear masks. Side story, before my boyfriend got sick, he had gone to CVS and bought a ton of gloves, Purell, disinfectant wipes, disinfectant spray, and masks for us because I was so sick and he wanted to make sure he didn't get sick. And so when COVID hit and all that stuff sold out, we had piles of that stuff. I gave some to my parents because we had so much. He had stocked up on so much. We had so much Purell. We still have a ton of Purell, so it was just crazy how you can't even get Lysol anymore, and that we had like 4 bottles of Lysol, which we've gone through already, but we had it at the time. Anyways, so I remember just feeling so sick, and I did go back to the doctor one more time because I was just feeling horrible. My mom actually drove me to the doctor because I couldn't drive myself. That's how weak I was. I had to take the elevator, which if you guys know me, I have a huge fear of elevators. So I never, ever, ever take the elevator unless absolutely necessary. But I literally couldn't walk up the stairs because I felt like I was going to fall over. So we had to take the elevator up, and the doctor again said there is no COVID testing. There's nothing that, we can do to see if you have COVID, but we're pretty sure it's just pneumonia, and mono. But yeah, the week I was able to go back to work, I actually was furloughed, and then we were all in quarantine. So a lot happened. I basically didn't work the whole year. I think I only worked 3.5 weeks from January till July. That's insane. That's insane. Wow. Wow. But yeah, so I ended up getting better, and honestly, I just rested and slept and drank lots of fluids. And I started to gain back my appetite, so I started being able to eat a little bit of toast. And then it came back more and more that I started eating soup, and then I could eat, you know, more meats and vegetables and all of that, which was really great. But it definitely, again, was just the most terrifying experience of my life, because for a majority of that time, I didn't know what I had. I didn't know what was wrong with me. And being that sick and not knowing, and coming home with fevers of 103 and 102 degrees every day is terrifying. And for people who are older and who are, you know, sick and don't have access to medical attention, it can be very scary. So again, I'm just thankful that my boyfriend and I were able to recover and my mom never got sick. I also, again, never got tested for coronavirus, so I'm not 100% sure I had it, but I'm 95% sure I did because of all the symptoms that I had, and knowing what we know now about COVID, pretty sure that I got it. But when I went to get some blood work done, they had told me that there's no point in testing me for it because it was so long ago that it's probably out of my system already. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I had it. Alright guys, I hope you liked this video. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel for more videos, and I'll see you next time. Bye!